All right. Good day, everyone. Hello, good morning. This is Hillary, the Freitas, the marketing mom, and Bernadette Chinley, WSI. And we are here for another episode of our BDTV.
TVTT,
It's a tongue
Business
twister.
Development, Business
Business
Development
development.
TV, Trinidad and Tobago.
And today we've got a special guest with us who I will be introducing a little later on. But I wanted to first introduce what are we talking about today? The lazy man's way to e-commerce sales. And you're probably wondering, yes, great. I'm gonna get more sales, the lazy man way. Well, all businesses want sales, right? And basically that's why you're in business, and everybody's been telling you you got to transform your business, you got to go digital. All right, we're here during COVID-19 and nobody could have walked into your stores, so you needed to have something in place to keep the sales going. All right. um, but when we looked up digital transformation, we went to almighty Google, and a software company called Salesforce, they define digital transformation as the process for using digital technologies to create or modify existing business processes, culture, and customer experience. Now, that may seem like a mouthful for a busy, hardworking business owner like yourself. And you're thinking, okay, digital transformation is not for me, because it's really about transforming your business processes, taking the paper trail and all of the manual customer onboarding and making it digital. All right. Um, you have to, it starts with this kind of mindset where you're literally taking those current processes and making a digital version of them. Here in Trinidad and Tobago, we did a little, digging as well. And we've taken it a step further in that we see the changes associated with digital technology, application, and integration into all aspects of human life and society. So, which is why, for the last 5 years, we've been talking about the ICT digital transformation of the government, right? You probably heard about those things, right? And yes, we're talking about a move from physical to digital, and it could take a while. So while you're there trying to bring business in and you're doing your business, you're a hardworking business owner, you just don't have the time for that. You need to first wrap your head around what you want to do, understand it enough to define the steps, and then direct people, trusted, contracted persons who will have your best interest at heart to actually get that done. Okay. Um, Another angle of looking at digital transformation integrates digital technology into all other areas of your business, and we talked about that, especially here in Trinidad and Tobago. We do see that it's not just your website, it's not just getting on social media. It literally requires a culture change. Okay. Or you could just stay with the status quo. All right. But you don't have to worry. You could learn things, fail internally, and then fix your problem so that your customers kind of never see the teething challenges that you go
That's the
through.
great part about digital transformation.
Yeah,
Nobody needs to know what
what
mess
the
is going
teething.
on inside.
Exactly. All right. So we ask ourselves, all right, because we are also busy business professionals, and we ask ourselves, where can a business transform? And I'm using that term loosely now. Where can a business do digital transformation and have the quickest or the maximum impact on their revenue? And that's where we landed with this topic. All right, e-commerce. Yes, you've been hearing it for years. You need an e-commerce site. You need to be selling online, and COVID kind of like proved that, right? It was like a slap in the face. It's like you need this. Okay, so you've asked yourself, how are you going to do that? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right, we're going to be talking about that small piece of digital transformation that is actually going to have a huge impact on your business, on your revenue. All right. And we have our good friend with us and business partner where we've worked with him in different areas previously. All right. Here with us, Jeff Beeman, sorry.
Man,
Beeman.
Man.
Beeman, um, who he's done, who has actually, been in this I
He's been a
guess,
digital
later.
transformer in a sense,
Yes,
right? He'll
since
explain to you in a little bit.
yes, definitely. So he's been digitally transforming um for quite some time. He's been involved in different affiliate marketing companies, online marketing companies, and he's also been selling on eBay, which is one of the things that we'll talk about. He sold everything from a piano to a rock. And I really need to hear about this rock that you sold on eBay. Okay. I mean, it's like right. And he is actually currently working on a niche retail site project, which is going to be launched in September. So when you're talking about e-commerce, Jeff's our guy. His background includes sales. All right. So you're going to hear a little bit about sales, marketing, and also business management. So Jeff, thank you for joining us today on our show. And I want to let's jump right in. Okay. So one of the things that, and in our introduction and in the bio there, I kind of hinted at some of the things, right? So in e-commerce, you've got options, right? And eBay was one of your options. But you do have options as business owners when you want to go online. A lot of people say, okay, I don't want the hassle of having to build my own website. So I'm just going to sell my stuff on eBay or sell my stuff on Amazon. Locally, we also have some options as well. ShopHub is one. We actually interviewed her last year, Bernie.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was last year. ShopHub is one. And we call those the marketplaces, right, Jeff?
Right.
Yeah. So what's the advantage of being on a marketplace, right? Before I go into all the other three options that, business owners have here.
But like in 2020, we saw at least five more pop up.
Say that again,
Um,
Bernadette. I'm sorry.
we saw five more marketplaces in Trinidad and Tobago pop
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, Trolley has been around for
Tree
a long.
Trolley has been around for a while. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
e-buys, TT, building source. All right. So those are a few that are the local ones that have popped up recently, but they're all what we call marketplaces, e-commerce marketplaces.
Right.
You can put up your products and sell them. So what's the benefit? I mean, and your experience with those type of sites?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah, why
first,
should a business go into a marketplace or choose
right.
a marketplace?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. A great question. And like you said, it's become a have to have situation with the last few months, the way that they've been. And first of all, I'd just like to say thank you for inviting me to join you tonight. We haven't had a chance to chat or hang out for a while, as everybody's busy doing everything that we do. So it was awesome to catch up with both of you, and hopefully we can continue doing some conversations and some content
Oh, for sure. We'll have you back again.
through the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, down the road here. So. But yeah, the marketplaces online. What is the benefit? Well, the benefit is the reach to other customers that you may not have a reach with right now locally. And the obvious one is just jumping right out at us to the fact that many retail stores had to close their doors for a while. How else are they going to sell? They need to be either on their own website or using a marketplace of some kind to continue to have product moving through their business. There are many different types of marketplaces, which I was going to ask you guys. I didn't know. Is eBay even available to you where you're at in your part of the world down there? Can you sell on eBay down there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Problem,
Wasn't
the
sure.
problem with selling on eBay is that my produce or whatever it is that I'm selling on eBay needs to be in the States so that when someone buys, because if you sell something and it takes a week to get there, then you're going to just frustrate people. They
Right.
don't
Yes.
want to wait a whole week or beyond a week. So I have encouraged a few people to put their stuff on eBay because the concept of eBay is like a sophisticated garage sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I
That
mean, that's
that's
pretty much
the
what
that's
you got
the
it,
yeah
right?
that's the there's it's surprising to me how many people still think of eBay that way. eBay has really evolved way
Oh
above
yeah,
that, over
yeah,
the
yeah.
years. In fact, I ran into somebody the other day when I told them that I sell on eBay. They're like, "Yeah, I've thought about shopping on eBay, but I don't know. It's just too much like a garage." No, it's not a garage sale anymore. Um,
But it's a sophisticated garage
it's a
sale. And in
sophisticated
fact,
garage sale.
I have stuff that I should actually ship to you so that you could sell for me.
Well, that's always a possibility. That's always a
Yeah,
possibility.
because I mean, I've been what do you call it? Researching the selling price of vinyl records,
Mm-hmm.
right? My
Had
my
somebody else ask me that
mother-in-law,
today too. Yeah.
yeah, my mother-in-law was throwing away all her collection. I was like, I'll take it because I knew that there must be value in vinyl.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, the average record right now is around $25 to $35 for an album.
Yeah. So, yeah. A lot
Even
of them
our
are.
local artists.
Vinyl has become a new trend. Really, there's a lot of people that are
Yeah,
going back to vinyl. So yeah, it's definitely
yeah.
a market out there for it. But yeah, eBay itself, as far as eBay goes, the marketplace, it's definitely evolved. There's a lot of things going on in eBay where they're maybe trying to keep up with some of the bigger retail sites. But eBay is, their brand is their brand, and they're always going to have that, whatever you want to call it, to their name. That's the first thing people think of is the garage sale type situation. So
Well, that's
Definitely.
where they started, but
Yeah.
definitely they've evolved.
Hmm.
And a lot of people are trying to copy the eBay business model, but it's very tough to get it because of how the fulfillment is, because of their, I would say, their alignment with PayPal. That's one of their biggest, what do you call it? With that alignment, they were almost excluded,
yes,
don't you
yeah,
think?
yeah. I mean, eBay was the first site online to do what it did, and yes, they were able to, like you said, get together with some of the bigger partners that are out there. Things are changing as far as how eBay is changing on how they do their payments. They have a new system rolling out called managed payments, and PayPal and eBay kind of have split apart a little bit.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Well,
there's still some question marks there as to how things are going to go. A lot of people that have already started using the new platform say that it's fine. They're doing okay with it. It's a little different than what they're used to, but they're doing okay with it as they go. So, but yeah, I mean, there's you mentioned your sites. I know of a couple sites off the top of my head that try to run similar to eBay, but it's just they were there first. They've got the brand and they've been able to maintain it,
Hmm.
and that's how
I
yeah.
think
important the brand can be.
I think one of the
And does
important
it?
things for that, Bernie, that you mentioned locally, and the reason we've seen so many pop up locally, right? I call them the marketplaces, but they're not like eBay. They're more, to me, they're more like Amazon, but they're still getting the sellers. It's still the sellers that are coming on, and they will put up their product, and they're selling. But for the local person, the local businessman, the thing that really drives them to say, I'll put my product on Trini Trolley versus Amazon, is that fulfillment piece, right? I'm able to deliver locally much faster than if I was
Right,
selling
right. Yeah,
overseas.
and another way to look at these marketplaces too, when you have sellers coming on, are you familiar with consignment? As consignment stores. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's really what an eBay or any of these other platforms are. They are a big consignment building, and they have you
Mhm.
come in as a seller. They give you a spot in their building to sell your goods,
Mhm.
and and they make money off of you being there, just like you would if you were to go in and rent a space at a local consignment shop or antique store. So yeah, that's where other businesses, other new marketplaces can come online and bring in those sellers and that way they have a wider variety and start building up their customer traffic because they can get more people through that way.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, but in a marketplace like eBay, their business model is along the way of you have a shop and you manage your goods, you manage your fulfillment, you collect payments, and you use their facilities that they partner with, right?
right.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
But in the building source and the Trinity Trolley, those are entities in themselves, and you're just renting space in their store. But I don't think, like if I were to do work with them, I don't think I can manage like how eBay allows you to manage your store. Like
Yeah.
for
I mean,
instance, I shop on eBay. I shop on
And that's
eBay,
where,
and
mhm.
I go through and then I compare different goods. I mean, even if it's the same, let's say for instance, I'm buying soap. Okay, I will see 50 different people selling soap, and according to what the person has in their store, that's when I choose to buy from that person.
sure. Yeah.
So I want you to tell us about your rock story.
Yeah. Well, it kind of, I always tell everybody, I sold everything from a piano to a rock. The piano story is kind of fun too, because that was the first item I ever sold on eBay. Was a
Wow.
flipping piano.
Okay.
I was fortunate enough to be told about eBay's local pickup only option when you list something. And so I had that on there. And yeah, somebody from southern part of our state needed a piano for his daughter. So they bought that and came and picked it up, and everything was great. But the rock part of that is I had, it was an Indian rock shaped like an Indian mallet or tomahawk type shape to the rock. I mean, it's a real rock. And you could tell it wasn't sharp. It was rounded, but you could tell it had the groovings in it, but for the handle to hold it. And I don't know, I just decided, hey, let's list it and see if it goes. And sure enough, somebody bought it. So there you go. Sold everything from a rock to a piano.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Very good, very good.
Amazing.
But
Luckily,
that's how a marketplace works. You have your business, and you rent a corner of their store, and you manage your inventory.
Right, yeah.
That's truly how a marketplace works.
Yeah.
Why is eBay different from Amazon?
Well,
How is
eBay
eBay
is,
different from Amazon?
yeah. Amazon. That's a good. Let me rethink that. Yeah, eBay, the way that they started out being an auction style of website instead of just a straight buy it now or retail site is probably the biggest difference between the two. Amazon has no auctions. Now, there are people who you can buy pre-owned items. You can buy from people that self-fulfillment where they send it. They're putting it on Amazon, but they're shipping it to you from their house, just like we do with eBay. And then there's the folks that do the Amazon fulfilled by Amazon, where they actually ship it to the Amazon warehouse, and then Amazon ships it out for you once the item is purchased. Now, eBay has not done that for all the years that they were in business, but they are. I want to say that it is possible now in some areas, or that they are still developing the idea of being able to do that. I haven't researched that one for a while. I know they were talking about it. So I'd have to look back into that again. But that's where eBay is trying to transform their marketplace to become more like an Amazon type business and give you that option. But that's probably the two biggest differences. Amazon is strictly retail, buy it now, where eBay has the auction side. That's what they started with. They have evolved more into the buy it now retail side of it. And there's, you can buy, a lot of times when people think about eBay, they think about pre-owned items, mostly antiques and so forth. There is a boatload of new stuff. I mean, go throw something into the eBay search, and you'll see brand new stuff that's being put on there, just like it is on Amazon. And a lot of the big retailers that have moved to digital or e-commerce, if they're not using their own site, or they're using it in combination with their own site, they've got all their stuff on Amazon, they got all their stuff on eBay, they've got all their stuff on their own site. They've got the multiple channels up and rolling. The companies that really have it, really trying to get ahead of the curve of e-commerce selling and buying.
So that's your best option, that you do all three.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really can be. And there are many, many resellers that do put everything out on multiple channels. eBay and Amazon being the biggest two. Amazon, maybe another big difference between eBay and Amazon is Amazon can be a little more difficult to get in the door. They have what they call gated items. So there are some items I can't go in there and just start selling. I have to have sold so many of the beginner, the let you in the door stuff before I can move up to the next category, which might be what I'm really trying to get to. So you do have to watch out for that. Where eBay, you can pretty much, as long as it's legal and within their basic boundaries, legal, moral, and ethical, I always say.
Yeah, you're not allowed to sell marijuana on eBay.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure if the oil, what is it? What is the CBD oils?
CBD oil.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's made it on there or not. And right now, with all the changes that the world is seeing, there's a lot of restrictions, or there's more restrictions coming down the road on what they'll what eBay will accept. So yeah, you gotta do a little research and make sure, can I actually sell this, or are they going to send me a warning, or are they going to kick me off, take that item down because it doesn't meet the world standards as right
ethical, moral, and legal. So what's the other question?
So what I was going to say is, so if you don't want to go to the marketplaces, right, the other two options that we found was you can do a Shopify, or you build your own. All right. Now, building your own, I think you have the most control there. All right. We were talking about that fulfillment, being able to fulfill. Now, if, say, for example, you were selling on Amazon and you gave Amazon the fulfillment, not that Amazon has, ever fallen flat for fulfillment, but at least you have the control of, I know that I'm going to deliver this to the customer once they've bought. If you say build your own, or have somebody build it for you, wink, wink, not nudge.
Right.
Or you go the route of the platforms, the Shopify, the I keep forgetting it, PrestaShop, right? Where you're not in the mix of all the other competitors. It acts as if it's your own standalone store, but you're still supported by a network. Then, at least that's how I've always understood it. So a PrestaShop, it would look like, it's whatever your business .PrestaShop, but when they come there, they're not being distracted by Jeff's rock or the piano.
Right. Yeah, they're looking just directly at that store.
At that store.
Yeah.
Yes.
The biggest. I mean, the biggest difference between being eBay and Amazon compared to a Shopify or another, I'm trying to think of another site similar to Shopify, and I can't think of what it was, but we're having your. I'm sorry.
Overstock. Is Overstock
that's more of a retail store that's just online, I think. But but yeah, Shopify is the main one that most people go to, and then having your own site. The biggest differences between those three, eBay and Amazon have a ton of rules and regulations. You have to watch what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. You can't just go in there like you could 20 years ago and sell anything. You can get booted off. You're not in control. Where have we heard that before in our marketing training?
Yes.
Right? Shopify, it's a little more flexible. You're paying them for their use of their site. It's easy to build a nice website with. It's easy to put your items on and to open the store. And also, along with your own niche site or your own business site, eBay and Amazon, you're relying on their traffic. They have done a huge amount of work to have all that traffic. I forget what the millions of number of people that come to eBay every day, number of millions of people that go to Amazon every day. When you get into a Shopify store or your own WordPress blog site or niche retail site, you've got to drive the traffic. Yes, you're in control. What Bernadette said, absolutely, you're in control, but you better be ready to hire somebody like you guys to help with the SEO, to help with the moving the traffic to those stores, because doing it on your own is getting tougher and tougher every day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And even if you have a Shopify account, and a lot of people say, oh, I have a Shopify account, go like it. And I'm like, why do I want to go to your Shopify account? I don't want socks, so
Right.
yeah,
if they're not advertising,
I'm your friend, but
right,
I don't want
they're
to
not
buy
advertising
socks.
to their market, then who's going to buy?
Exactly. So. Who's going to buy? So it does boil down to how are you you're being found, really. So I guess when you go to the marketplace, and this is maybe the benefit even locally, that if you're selling on Trini Trolley versus your own website, Trini Trolley, in a sense, people will visit there. They get a lot of hits. It's not the millions like Amazon or eBay, but at least people know, okay, you've invested in marketing for Trini Trolley. It's just now when I get there, how are people finding my product, right? And how is there a way then? And I mean, we could use the eBay example, but is there really a way for you to kind of like boost your ranking other than advertising? So when somebody searches, you're found in that search.
Yes, absolutely. That's an area as far as training eBay or helping people get started on eBay that I like to talk about. And on my YouTube channel, I try to have videos in there talking about SEO, search engine optimization. Why do I need that on eBay? There's millions of people that come to eBay every day. Well, when you first start listing on eBay, eBay's format for listing helps to take you through the basic search engine optimization, but most of your basic sellers don't have a clue that that's what they're doing. It's the same thing as building a blog post or doing a video. Title, keywords. That's the very first thing. That's the hot topic. That's what you got to have, and it's got to be right. Pictures come into play when you're selling products, so pictures are extremely important, good quality pictures. The description needs to be SEO keyworded also. They say that, and there's some people out there that say, oh, that's not as big a deal as it used to be for eBay. I don't care. It still needs to be SEO. There still needs to be keywording in there to help with the ranking. And what's the fourth one? Price. When it comes to your e-commerce sites, it's you've got to be within the correct price range of what you're looking for or what you're selling. There are cases where maybe because of the way that you set up your listing, somebody might come across your listing and they are what I call a knee-jerk buyer, and they don't care what the price is. They got to have it because you got it. So they'll still buy. But for the most part, you've got to watch your pricing and be within reason on your pricing, as well as you would with any retail store out there for your marketplace. So,
and is that more important, just not to cut you, but is that more important because on the marketplace you have that comparison?
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
Right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the complaints, I guess you could say, that eBayers have had over time as eBay has evolved is that you've got your listing right there. Somebody goes and looks at your listing, and right down below it, eBay's got advertising for everybody else's stuff that's similar, because somebody had within eBay, you can pay to have your item seen.
Yes, seen that.
I have never done that. I've just never, I prefer to rely on just basic title, pictures, description, make the price right. And I've never had a problem selling anything. So, but there are some people that do very well with doing promoting within the eBay also. So SEO in eBay, yes, it's important, and you should learn something about it or have somebody help you to develop your listings so that when I go to put a title together on eBay, as many years as I've been doing it, I still use eBay Title Optimizer. I still use Google. I still stumble on keywords. It's like, I know I can do better than that. Let's go look up some keywords and see what we can find. So
Yeah, it's
And I
important.
guess the same thing, yeah. And I guess the same thing would apply on if you
Oh,
were doing well, not the Shopify as much, but building your own, definitely. All
yeah,
right.
and Shopify is huge for SEO. There are all kinds of trainings out there on how to SEO your Shopify store. Putting out pages about one product makes a huge difference. Again, titles, pictures, descriptions, keywords,
Hmm.
tags. I mean, it all plays into that, because Shopify is an awesome platform. I've tried to use it a couple of times, but now I've got a guy that's building a site for me. And but yeah, you really got to stay on top of the SEO with that as well.
Hey, Bernie, that's like music to your ears, right?
yeah.
And having good social media managers to help guide
The
traffic to
traffic.
those sites also makes a huge difference.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, I mean, the fact that people say go ask Google, you go ask Google. When you ask a question, you're supposed to get an answer,
Right.
right? And if you, the business owner, want your shop to show up as the answer, it's gotta be keyword, you know,
Hmm.
it's gotta be keyword optimized. And
Yes.
and it's no longer stuffing. I mean, stuffing stopped since 2005, I think,
Right.
you know. But
Yeah. Yeah. You
and
don't want to keyword. You don't want to keyword stuff anything. But yeah, there's a lot of eBay sellers that have no idea that they can be found on Google. I kind of
yeah.
blows my head, blows my hat off when somebody says something like that. I'm like, what? You didn't know you could find your product can be found on Google, and then that'll send them to eBay to buy your product.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So, I mean, I think, when I think we laid out these things as options, but definitely one of the things, Jeff, that you pointed out is that if you're going to sell online, you can't just stick to one. You've got to
Correct.
you've got to make the investment to help yourself get found. Yes, you could
Mhm.
have your own site. Yes, you could be on a Shopify or a Weebly, a Wix, a PrestaShop, and you could be
Wix, that's the
on
other one. Thank you. Sorry.
yeah, yes, and you could also be on marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, and locally here, Trini Trolley, ShopHub, eBuys, TT. So it's not about picking one; it's more about how are you going to roll them out.
Right.
I-
Where is your target market? Basic marketing 101. Who is your avatar? Where do they hang out at? And can you reach them via those platforms?
Exactly. And rolled it out that way.
But I remember being in a shop once. I went to a business owner, and they're into plumbing, selling toilets and sinks, etc. And I was um, asking them if they were interested in optimizing or updating their website. And he's like, no, 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 we subscribe to Building Source. That's good enough. And so he opened Building Source, and he was quite proud of his decision to go with Building Source. And he's like, so he says, yeah, so if you want to get a toilet set, and he typed in toilet set within the Building Source website, and he didn't come up on page one. So he's like, oh, how is this possible? They told me I was going to be on the first page for toilets. And I'm like, well, because I mean, the first page is only this much, right? You
Right.
can have
Right.
6 items on the first page. So, I mean,
As they add
and
sellers.
it's the other
So
person's website.
yes,
You're
it
not
is.
in control. So to me, I wouldn't choose a website like that because I'm not in control.
Mhm. Well,
Right.
it depends on how they've
I don't
set it
mean to
up,
kill
right?
building source, but I mean it's their website and they're selling you like a yellow pages. You know, they're like, we're gonna be the website for all construction and all items within the construction industry. So put your products on my site. But that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be the first, toilet, vanity, shower, whatever it is, that's going to show up on their first page.
Because they're in
Absolutely.
business, because like as you're saying, building source, they're in business to just get people to bring products to their site.
Subscribe. Yeah.
To subscribe, right?
Absolutely.
So wrapping up, I mean, we kind of we moved around quite a bit, right? And the thing that I think, the message, I mean, I don't know, Bernie, if you're hearing this, but it's like, you can't do just one. You've got to be selective with where you're going to place your products. You gotta have to get some research done, right? Whether you do it yourself. And we're talking about the lazy man's way. You know what's the lazy man's way? Get somebody else to do it. And
That's a lesson I've been learning here lately. Yes, very much.
the lazy man's way.
It's time or money. I mean, if you're in business to make money and you want to spend your time in an area that you don't know, you're gonna end up doing it wrong, and you're not gonna get the result that you want to get.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to learn, but how much time do you want to spend on it, and how much of your money do you want to spend in that time to learn that when you could have been possibly making money? I have to admit the whole coronavirus COVID-19 situation put me off work for about a month and a half, and to be able to sit here and get everything caught up that I needed to catch up, and then all of a sudden have to go back to work. Thankfully, I'll do a little plug for Dr. Bob and his part-time to big time. That was very helpful information, to the fact that when I went back to work, I all of a sudden realized how much time I had been wasting during, and got back to work. And it's like, dang, I don't have, all of a sudden my time has gone back down to this little chunk. And how am I going to maximize that effort? Well, to maximize that effort, number one, I changed some things on the way that I do my buying and selling, but I'm also having a site built. I'm also looking at buying some email follow-ups from a friend who does copywriting, looking to, not a lot, just little things here and there that could free up my time to make more money producing activities over doing all the other stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I see Bob hit you on the head.
Yes,
yeah,
pretty much.
Good job, Dr. Bob.
So Jeff,
he's a good friend of ours.
Yep.
I've taken a lot of advice. He was my I watched him very closely when I first started online, because I was working as well, right? So I only had 2 hours a day, and I remember following him. Definitely. So that is our very short 30 minutes talking about digital transformation. One of the ways that you could focus, all right, on, or where you could focus, it's not just one, as we've seen. You do have options locally. You can do the marketplace, but definitely you want to have your own as well, whether that be building it on a Wix site, or actually hiring a team to build out your own site, as Jeff is doing right now. He's getting a niche site built out, all right, because doing all of these activities is going to help you increase your sales, all right, so that you are able to be found, you're able to be ranked, the items that you're selling, all right, and you're able to deliver in a timely manner. All right. So thank you again for joining us. We will see you next week. Same time, same channels. And Jeff, again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I haven't totally enjoyed it. Can't wait to do it again.
Bye all.
Bye-bye.
Bye all.